Yeah, we're live. There's no music or anything anymore on. Do you have your headphones? Your thing's not going on. I don't hear anything. Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
But there's
I can hear you.
Did you put I don't know if your headphones are on. If you try,
my headphones aren't on.
Oh, here we go.
I had to unplug them to play the intro. Then I plugged them in.
Doing your intro, and the intro wasn't going over. So,
what do you mean the intro wasn't going over?
It wasn't going over. I can hear it if it's going over. That's why I was saying there's nothing going on. There's no intro. Don't sit there like I just answered.
I hear it though.
Of 11:49 is. My God, tell you.
I guess I have no idea, man. It's kind of crazy, but we got a lot to cover. But I do want to do this. I want to go and shout out to Quick Motorsports. They had me out there last Tuesday night. Today's Thursday. I'm a little thrown off. We're not normally Thursdays until the season starts. So we got that going. Great night out at Georgetown. Great night for the family. If you ever want to go out there, you're in town. People in the lower Delaware area, you go down Georgetown, and then there's another track down Delmar. Some good racing because Rubbin's racing.
Which you stole from me. Obviously, Rubbin is racing.
That's right. There ain't nothing stock about a stock car. And hey man, a shout out to Billy and the crew, all those guys. They won. So because of me, I was there, brought the luck to the team.
So wait, Billy.
Not our Billy. It's Billy. Billy.
I was saying, man, Billy racing in that car. They get Billy's big ass. Like I'm small, but getting me Billy in one of those dirt, whatever they call dirt cart. What do they call it?
Yeah, man, it's dirt cars. So what it is basically it's a Ford like Focus, and they rip it all out, put a cage in there, and they race them around. But here's the funny thing. So the warm up lap, one of his cars, the engine broke the axle, goes in the wall, bang. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to fix it, but anyway, they get in there. But the one car, the 2A car, wound up winning, and it was a good night. It was a fun night had by all. And by the way, Billy is my producer when I do the football on the radio here in Delaware.
Right.
So he's my producer. So I went up there and tried to butter him up a little bit so he can come back and still produce our football show. So, but no, a fun time. And I just want to let everybody know that once they put the GoPros and stuff in the car, Coach will be doing some laps. Okay. But I want to put it on film. I can't do it without it being on film because it's probably going to be hilarious. Okay. So we're going to do that. Billy and I have discussed it, but once we get the cameras in the car, we'll be good to go. So that's
where isn't your ass end always kind of like,
that kind of racing? You hit the turn and you start sliding and stuff. Now that's like more the open wheel. They had the open wheel cars. These cars were just pretty much flying around the track, So,
yeah.
But that dirt, when they come around, the dirt's flying everywhere. It's it's pretty wild. So
how fast do they go? Do you know?
That's a small track. I don't know that they had to be going at least 85, 90 mile an hour, close to it.
Wow.
I mean, I'll double check. I'm sure Billy will jump on a little bit and he'll say, he'll tell us. We'll get him on as a guest. He can explain it all.
There we go.
So we get a little NASCAR going with this. So and hopefully, a shout out, Chris Lentz. Hey buddy, got you off the ban list. So you should be able to.
Chris Lentz, I don't know. He banned the wrong guy. We had the one guy was fighting in Arabic. And he's still allowed on, and he accidentally bans Chris Lentz.
Come on now. So we got that going. I want to do this, and I know Michael K stole my thunder because I know we don't do this show every night and whatnot. But the Vasquez kid playing shortstop for the Yankees and being a kid from New York and a Yankee fan. And honestly, that kid, hit the home run the other night, and I don't know, but it just goosebumps, because growing up as a kid, playing baseball in the street, in the field, where are you? Yankee Stadium, you're hitting a home run, and, he's living everybody's dream, every New York kid's dream right now. And I'm really rooting for him. And I know his days are getting numbered now as guys are getting healthy for the Yankees, and he'll probably get sent back down. But, man, I just love it. Kid Morris Park area, I spent some time over in that area. I got family down in Morris Park. So, really, really a big deal, kind of.
And I'm sure it means a lot to him. Like you said, that's your dream type thing. And, like, you look at a guy like Rudy who, coach some of these – players that are, we've talked about before, but, they're all state, all this.
Right.
That's not big to them. But a guy like Rudy who, to get in and play 2 or 3 plays, you know what I mean, meant the world to him.
Right.
Or you bring a guy like Vince Papale, who went to Interboro High School by me and got to walk on and play for the Eagles and live his dream, and obviously, have a movie made after him starring Mark Wahlberg. What's going on, Sammy?
What's up, Sammy?
But no, I mean, come on, man. Who doesn't have a dream of, playing for your local team and making some kind of huge play? Or, like I said, obviously I brought 2 of the biggest ones in Rudy and Vince Papale. But, pretty cool story. Yankees, what is it, 11 straight now?
11,
So. And you know what? Because this is what matters. You can sit and say what you want about April, May, and June, but this is when you want to be playing good baseball. And the Yankees are right now. And to me, with the trades they made, if the pitching, which I think is actually done pretty well with some of these young kids and picked up, I like where the lineup's at. And if the pitching can stand and that they figure out the right positions in relief wise, the Yankees are going to be tough.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, but Chapman, oh my God. I mean, the Yankees are cruising, Tuesday night, and then all of a sudden he gets the first 2. You're like, okay. And then all of a sudden the wheels fell off. Now the base is loaded, and then you got to bring in somebody else to come in and close it out. And you're like on the edge of your seat. Dude, you throw 100+ miles an hour. Best on best. I mean, if I'm going to get beat, I'm throwing my best pitch. If he gets it, he gets it. Hey,
Oh, no, I agree. That's what I'm doing. If you're going to beat me, you're going to beat me against my best pitch, and not,
Right. I'm throwing some high heat, and if you get you get wood on it, then so be it. But come on now, you're bouncing the ball, you're throwing the ball all over the place, and honestly, and I know
it's the worst thing, Coach, is when you start walking people. That's what you can't do as a relief pitcher. When you're walking guys and you start getting a little wild, that's when it burns you. Because, obviously it's a save. It's what it's called. So you got to, 3 or less runs basically. So you put a guy or 2 on, you know what I mean? One swing of the bat. And, it's a tie game. And you're seeing a lot of that. I mean, you saw a crazy game the other night with the Dodgers and the Padres. And talk about a team that is just 2 teams going in opposite directions. Dodgers have won, I think they're 15-2, and Padres are just now not even in playoffs. They are on the outside looking in. The Reds have surpassed them.
And the Mets fell off a cliff. The Mets off a cliff.
The Mets, I would really say injuries with DeGrom being out, Syndergaard. Baez got hurt.
But they were in first place without DeGrom and those guys. But, they were, and then they just kind of fell off a cliff.
No, I agree. And the bats went silent. But still, you lose a guy like DeGrom, this is now you've missed him for a long stretch of time. So I think that's part of it. But also Lindor was out. They just, look, Cohen's going to go out and get some bats. Freddie Freeman will be up. A lot of good free agents coming out this year. Yep. Freddie Freeman will be out there. Kershaw is a free agent possibly. So we'll see what happens. But Mets are going to spend money, and they're going to go get some people. That's one thing that really hasn't been talked about either, coaches. What's going on with Mike Trout? Like, he got hurt, and you really haven't heard anything. Like, just, they said, I had heard, I thought it was going to be around the All-Star break, and maybe they just said, look, we know we're not going to make the playoffs, and basically put him out for the year. Because I think that's what happened with Rhys Hoskins today with the Phillies. I think the Phillies lost last night. They lose to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, couldn't help us out. Couldn't help the Yankees out either day. I mean,
Well, when the Phillies are pitching good, they're not hitting. When they're hitting good, they're not pitching. They're just,
Well, I thought with Wheeler coming on, that Wheeler pitching, that they'd have a chance. The Yankees could pick up at least a half game out of that deal, and they wind up losing a half game because they're idle.
Girardi left him into the ninth. He's got no faith in the bullpen, and people are killing Girardi. And look, has he done his best job? I don't think he has. But when you have the bullpen he has, I mean, you have no confidence in your bullpen.
Yeah, but how many years are we going to keep talking about this damn bullpen? Go out, address the issue, and go get somebody. I mean, come on now.
No, I agree. And it's more than that, though, too. The lineup's inconsistent. I like Wheeler. That was a hell of a signing. Nola, I think, he's inconsistent. I don't want to say he's a fraud, but he's not a number 2 or a number 3. He's not a front line starter. I mean, you don't have a 4-6.
He was supposed to be your number 1, too.
Right.
I mean,
and he shows flashes of being a number 1. Sometimes you see him throw, and his stuff is electric. But like I said, you don't have a 4.6 ERA, and you're an ace. Right. Like I said, that's not a good 3. I mean,
what did the Yankees get talent from the Pirates for basically nothing?
Right.
And the guy's been one of the best pitchers since the All-Star break. I mean, I think the guy is like 5-0. I mean, so he's really pitching really well. So
yeah, baseball is going to be interesting. The Padres, they look so good to start. Darvish has fallen off a cliff. He's coming back today, but he really struggled. Snell, who was so good last year for the Rays, former Cy Young winner, he has an ERA almost up to 5. They just, with that lineup, and honestly, the lineup hasn't been great lately. They went and got the hits leader at the trade deadline in Frazier from the Pirates, and they just, like I said, they're really struggling. Just surprised, and I really think the turning point was when they didn't pull off that Max Scherzer trade. I think pulling that off, adding him, and if you had to go get and give up whatever and grab Trey Turner too, just going to make your team better. Grab him. You can always use a bat. To me, that was a turning point, and I really think you can look at it as a time. I think the Padres knew it kind of took the air out of their balloon that we're in trouble. And look at the Giants, Coach. They just keep finding ways to win. I mean, like I said, the Giants are, the Dodgers 15-2 last 17. They're still 2.5 out in the West because the Giants just keep playing good baseball.
Yeah.
The Giants could play 500 from now on, 16-16, I think it would be, and they would win 100 games. That's how good of the season the Giants have had.
Yeah, and because a lot of people were saying the Atlanta series with the Yankees was a World Series preview, but I don't know that Atlanta's good enough to get past the Dodgers or the Giants right now. I would definitely. I mean, I think the Dodgers, when you get into a series, I mean, like I've said for a while now, I don't think Bauer's coming back. I think that's evident. But I mean, come on, Coach, you know it. You're going to go Buehler, who's the Cy Young right now, in my opinion. And then you got Scherzer, who's got World Series experience, as your 1-2. And then you got Kershaw as 3, or Urias, or David Price, whoever you want, because obviously Hamels got his $1 million through a couple bullpen sessions and says, my arm's hurt, I'm not playing. So talk about he got $1 million and he was going to get $200,000 per start. Right, per start.
I mean, to me, I don't know. You'd think you'd know if your arm wasn't right. I would think these guys at least throw a little. You don't just not throw for 2 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, maybe he really did get hurt, but sounds a little shady to me.
Yeah. I agree. And, so we'll see. And I just want to say this too, because I know we haven't done a show in a while but when the Yankees were playing Minnesota, can I just say this? The first baseman for Minnesota, looks like that fat kid on the Little League team. They had nowhere else to stick him. They just stick him at first base. First of all, he looks like he's like 15 anyway, and he's the pudgy kid at first base, man. I swear. He's that fat kid. He's too big to fit behind the plate, so they had to put him over at first base.
Yeah. So, I mean, but Coach, when you look at it now, I mean, AL wise, man, and that's what's so crazy, and that's what's crazy about baseball. Because 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you talk about the Yankees in the World Series picture, and now, right. I mean, how can't you talk about the World Series without mentioning the Yankees? Because to me, I mean, obviously, I think they're right there. I mean, I would say I would go Astros probably right now. I just think the way that lineup is with some of their starters, but to me, it's wide open. I could see it being the White Sox with that pitching and hitting combination they have. I could see it being your Yankees. I could see it being the Rays again, or I could see it also, being the Tampa Bay Rays.
And I tell you what really has helped the Yankees right now is Stanton playing the outfield.
Yeah.
Because now you have Luke Voit, because everybody's like, where's Voit? Voit is now the DH. And that lineup is righty, lefty, righty, lefty. It's got such balance and power. I mean, Luke Voit playing the DH role, AL Player of the Week this week. Or last week.
Well,
rather.
And I think it's reinvigorated some guys just with competition. And, I think Rizzo, out in Chicago, obviously they had fallen on some bad times. And, they were all kind of struggling this year, including Rizzo with Baez.
Right.
And Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant was having a good year. But, they were kind of struggling. And you go out to New York, and I think it gives you a little jolt. And you get put in a lineup like that, Coach, you're going to start seeing pitches.
You have to. You have to see. They can't pitch around everybody, so you're going to see some pitches. And
I mean that lineup's and that was the problem with the Yankees. That lineup was very top heavy, and when you got all right-handers, fell off a cliff. Right? No, right. But when you got to have over past Stanton, you fell off a cliff. Odor and guys like that, a lot of strikeouts, and now you got some, a very consistent lineup. You got guys like Gallo, who can put the ball out, out of the park at any moment. They got, and they're deep, and they got a lot of depth. I mean, because you could see it with I know you're a Gardy guy, and everybody loves Gardner, but he's not there anymore. He's a utility guy at best.
Yes, he is. I've said that. I love Gardy. You know that. I'm a big Gardy guy, but he was supposed to just be not the everyday
fourth or fifth outfielder. Right.
Yes, he's supposed to come in, pinch hit, maybe,
run some bases.
Give a guy a rest, in a doubleheader or whatever. Yeah. But because of injuries, he had to play a lot. And, and it's tough. The guy's 39. I mean, I'm still a big fan of Gardy, don't get me wrong. But again, where do you put him now? Because what's his name's coming back? The other kid, I can't think of his name, but I'm not a big fan. No, Tyler Wade's going to get sent down, I think, and this kid's going to come back.
He played good though too, Tyler.
Yes. Tyler Wade has played, tough decisions. That's why I said for the Yankees, tough decisions, I think, because both Tyler Wade and Torres are coming back. So I'm sure Velasquez is going to go down, and so is Tyler Wade.
The big thing for the Yankees to me is getting Severino back, because Cole will fit in his spot. And it too. I like these young kids, Coach, but pitching now and pitching in October are two different animals. You know that, Coach.
Absolutely.
And you can get a guy like Severino back for October and stretched out. That'll really help, because you can count on Cole. Cole was really good in the postseason last year. I think he'll have another good postseason this year. He's one of those guys that steps up in the big spots. But they it too. When usually these World Series teams, you need a sidekick. It's not just one ace. You need that second starter, third, or at least you have depth in your starting rotation.
Well,
the only thing that's kind of going against that is the Rays.
I think Talon has shown that he is a legit. I mean, he's really come along. And honestly, you really don't know what you're getting when you come off this Tommy John surgery. But
Right.
I honestly think they bring these guys back a little too early. So now you're actually seeing, him truly be healthy and able to pitch. And now he's pitching up to his potential. Where before, maybe Pittsburgh brought him back too early, wasn't pitching very well, so they just dumped him. And, basically gave him to the Yankees for nothing. And
and another guy too, Coach, is I thought Jordan Montgomery's looked good lately. He's been more consistent and pitched well. And then another guy too was I don't know what is Nestor Cortez.
Yes, Nestor. Yes.
I mean, he's got a sub 2.75 ERA. Yeah. I know he's not going in and throwing you 6-7 innings, but still.
No, he's been that middle reliever guy coming in and eating innings for you and doing a hell of a job.
Yeah. No, and you need that. He's been a good pitcher for them, no doubt.
Absolutely. So, and I know you're chomping at the bit here. I know.
No, we'll get into football. So though, right now, if you had to say World Series prediction right now, who would you go with?
Well, how do I not go?
You don't have to give me the game. Give me the game. But not the winner, but who's playing?
I honestly, I think it's Yankees Giants. I mean, the two hottest teams. I'm being a homer, but the Yankees are my team, and really, I feel better about this team than I did the last three teams that have been in the playoff, Yankee-wise. I feel a lot better with this team. I mean, so I really feel like this is the team that's going to get over the hump. And I think once we get into October, those guys are going to come alive.
Well, the interesting thing to me, Coach, is going to be with the Dodgers. Are they a wild card team? Because that's where it could be. Because if you get into a one-game playoff, and Coach, all you're going to have is that game one game where the bats are silent, and then the Dodgers are out of it. So that's what will worry me.
That the Dodgers, I could still see it being Yankees-Dodgers or Yankees-Giants, but again, the one game, and that's why I'm getting on you about the Phillies not helping the Yankees out, because I'd rather the Yankees, they're still in striking distance. They win the division. I'd rather them win the division than have that one game one and done, so.
But right now I'm going to go. I like where the Yankees are headed, but I really think the Astros with that lineup are going to be tough. I think it's Astros, Dodgers. But, you can't count out the Giants. I really hope we see Giants, Dodgers, NLCS. Because I think that would be a great series, great pitching.
And I would like to see the Yankees Astros ALCS.
Oh yeah,
just because of the history and what happened and all that stuff.
You had the stuff earlier this year where Judge takes his shirt off, and then the next day, obviously, Altuve has the walk off in the big. I think they were down 4 or 5 runs in the ninth, and they come back. So,
but the Yankees still won that series 3-2.
Yeah, but you can't. But still, you couldn't script it better, Coach. If it's Yankees, Astros, no, that would be good for baseball. And like I said, Dodgers, Giants, I think would be great too because both former New York teams, obviously, Brooklyn Dodgers, New York Giants. They both obviously move out west.
Well, you know how the Mets got their colors, don't you?
No.
Well, they got their blue and orange. It's Dodger blue. And the orange from the Giants.
I didn't know that.
Teams.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They left, and then they so that's how the Mets got their colors for blue and orange. So.
Right. So no, but I think the AL, man, it is tough to me. National League, I think it's Dodgers and Giants. I mean, the Reds are on a nice run. The Braves have been playing better, and you never know. Just imagine if Acuna was healthy. But. Yeah, Dodgers and Giants. And look, Gabe Kapler, for everybody who killed him in Philly, how don't you put him as manager of the year? I mean, he should be unanimous being manager of the year. Am I wrong?
I agree with that. 100%, man. Because he basically got ran out of town in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He got ran out of town.
And who had the Giants? I mean, at best, finishing third place, everybody had the Giants. At best.
Right.
And here they are. August 26th in first place with the best record in baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and we'll see it keeps going, and but we have more important things to talk about. You got more important things, man, because football. This is the last, which it kind of baffles me a little bit. This is the last week of the preseason, and then we have 2 weeks off. We have 2 weeks until real games,
right?
And normally the preseason ends on a Saturday. The following Sunday is kickoff,
right?
So so why don't we have that extra preseason game, which would have helped the young guys? I'm not talking about the vets, because let's face it, going into a training camp, about 45 guys already have their spots. So basically you've got 90 guys showing up to fill 3 spots.
Right. Yeah, it's not many.
It's not many. So get them in there and get them playing. And I agree with Andy Reid playing his guys, because I don't understand the Giants. We haven't seen a starter play nothing, and I guess we'll see this week against New England. They'll play a full half, but
Andy's old school. And supposedly in Philly, it came from upstairs to Sirianni to not play starters in the preseason with the Eagles. And you got to look, first of all, you got Hurts, a guy who it looks as if you're going to give 1 year to prove himself. You know what I mean? In a new system. And you don't want him playing preseason. That's the one thing I'm surprised about, Coach, is how many guys are sitting. I don't get it. I really don't. I thought you were going to see, because of all the injuries last year. Look, running backs I get, because I know every carry, you're one carrier closer to the end of your career as a running back. So I get running backs.
You have X amount of carries in you. And
quarterbacks, offensive line. And that's what Reid, his big thing was. He goes, we have, I think all 5 linemen are going to be new, or at least it's going to be 4.
Right.
So he's like, we got to work on our chemistry. And, in regards to the line working together, the quarterback and the line working the cadence out, and just, your rhythm as a team. And that's the Chiefs, who are a well-oiled machine, and Andy Reid. So I'm just surprised a lot of these teams are taking this approach. I think you need to play in the preseason. I'm not saying you got to play 3 quarters, but, Coach, we talked about it. To me, it's like getting a new pair of cleats. You don't go to football camp and bring on a new pair of cleats.
And just think about the box. Right.
And that's what you're doing. Essentially, you're bringing a guy in and saying, all right, week 1, go play 60 minutes. I mean, your body's not used to that kind of, beating up. You got to almost callous your body up a little bit.
And I don't know how Barkley's gonna react, because he's had 0 contact. And again, he's not going to play until, possibly week 1. We don't know. So it concerns me. And again, Galladay, we gave all this money to, and still nursing this hamstring issue. Again, he missed 8 or 10 games last year because of the hamstring.
He missed most of the year last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty bad. Yeah, and look, just a lot of question marks. I think when the NFC East, look at Dallas. A lot of people are high on Dallas, but to me, you go into this year and you say, okay, Amari Cooper's coming off surgery. DeMarcus Lawrence is coming off surgery. Dak Prescott is coming off, obviously, the broken ankle, and, hasn't played. And now, too, having shoulder issues. They had all those injuries on the line. And then, to me, Coach, you change defensive coordinators, and then you bring the circus in of Hard Knocks and bring those cameras in.
You're right.
And to me, that is the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones wants to keep sit there and say, oh, why can't he win? Why can't he get that next Super Bowl? And the problem is Jerry Jones. He's the only owner who has his own radio talk show. He's the only owner who has a press conference after every game.
Right.
And now you're doing this too. And mind you, I think this is the 2nd or 3rd time they've been on Hard Knocks. This is the kind of team you needed to just get in the room, get all the bullshit distractions out from the outside, and just focus on a goal, winning the NFC East, and trying to maybe get back to an NFC championship.
We got a call, Nick. We got a call. So let's Jared, what's up, buddy? All right, how you doing, man?
Coach, you got to take the headphones off.
Here. Let me see if I could turn it up.
Do you hear him?
Barely.
I can't hear him.
Jared, I barely hear you, buddy.
Do you have the headphones unplugged?
No, I took them out. Can you hear him, Nick?
No.
Nick can't hear you. I don't know why. Hold on, let me see. Go over to here. Is there a volume here or something? I don't see a volume over here, but yeah. Hey, Jared, try calling back, buddy.
Good work, Coach.
All right, thanks, man. So I don't know. Maybe I should.
You think now after 100 times you'd pick up the headphones that when you have the headphones on, we can't hear what goes through. I mean, I've only told you.
Yes, but I unplugged the headphones when you said I can't hear them. I unplugged it immediately.
Yeah, well, no, I heard them in the beginning.
Just because I'm wearing them doesn't mean they're not plugged in. Look here, not plugged in.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's try it again.
All right.
All right, Jared, you there? Can you hear him, Nick?
No.
What the hell? I don't know. All right. Well, Jared, I appreciate the call, buddy. I want to know, my biggest concern is got to be, how are you putting a diminished Ben Roethlisberger behind that revamped offensive line? I mean, 5 new guys. You're asking to block a not so mobile Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. No, and it's a deep AFC North too, with the Browns obviously and the Ravens. One thing I don't get, Stiz had mentioned before too about how high Najee Harris was. What's up? What?
You got Jared talking and you talking at the same time.
Well, I can't hear anybody. What are you doing?
He's already on the train. He's already on the train, buddy. It don't matter if he's hurt or not. All right, you're done now. You're done. No, they're not. I'm sorry. You're wrong, Jared. Thanks for calling, though. We appreciate it.
Freight train. Oh,
man.
Nobody can hear the ball, though. I don't know, what did he say?
I heard him. I would hear him. I could hear him.
It's good that you heard, but nobody else could hear. Not me. I don't think anybody else could hear it. So it's good that you heard.
All right.
What did he say it was so bad?
Because he said that the Redskins are winning, or Washington's winning the division this year.
That's possible.
I mean, I think it's going to be just like it was last year. I mean, I don't think a losing record is going to win the division, but I think they're going to be all tight and jumbled up where anybody could win it. And honestly, I think 10-8 might win that division.
18 games, huh? You're going to put an extra game in there. What's up, Jared? Sorry, buddy, couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal
Washington, it's possible. You never know. And the Steelers, like I said, I don't know why people think Najee Harris is gonna. I think he's got talent, but they got to show it first. And if that line plays well and better than we think, the Steelers have a chance. But I think Roethlisberger's a statue back there. And it's not like Ben before where he was hard to bring down. He had some athletic ability when he was younger. This is and Ben's not known for unless Ben really said, okay, I got to work hard and because Ben's not known for his off-season prowess. You know what I mean? That's not one of Ben Roethlisberger's what he's known for.
Right.
But no, Coach, we were talking about the Cowboys. No, I think Jerry. That's the whole problem with the Cowboys is the Jerry Jones and him getting in the way. I think McCarthy's a puppet. I really do.
Yeah, and here's a fun fact for you. Here's a fun fact for everyone. Dan Quinn took over for Mike Nolan in Atlanta, and then he took over for Mike Nolan in Dallas.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah,
but, so I think that defense is going to be 100 times better. Dan Quinn, Salisbury State University, right down the road here. But I think also when the Dallas Cowboys called the New York Yankees team doctor about Dak's shoulder, I think it's a lot bigger than what you're talking about. And, so if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I better go find out what Jacksonville wants for Gardner Minshew or, some other team that's got an extra quarterback or something, because I'm sorry. What is it? Graziano, whatever. He's going to be flipping pizza here shortly. Danucci. I'm sorry. I apologize. But, man, Danucci, you're going to be, making pizza next to me in a couple weeks because you're not capable. I mean, if you have aspirations of going somewhere this year and Dak's not going to be healthy, you better bring in somebody. Get Nick Foles from Chicago because he's just sitting up there. I mean, you got to go find somebody somewhere. Phillip Rivers, take him out of retirement. He said he's willing to come out. Somebody.
After high school, though. He's coaching high school, and he said he wants to finish the season. So, but the whole problem with Jerry, though, is look at the draft last year. Everybody knew that defense last year had issues. Their offense was good. And look, CeeDee Lamb is going to be a really good player. But that's where you needed to go draft defense. And they just, Jerry does everything backwards. And I just, I don't see it. And I don't foresee them winning a Super Bowl while he's an owner. I really don't. Unless he changes his ways. I mean, he's much like, look at Daniel Snyder. Daniel Snyder's the same thing. He just gets in the way. I mean,
he got out of the way and had some success.
At least Jerry Jones, if you look at it, since Jimmy Johnson, and I know the Switzer thing, but essentially, since he's left, they have 3 playoff wins in how many, 25 years. I mean, it's not a successful organization. That's what people talk about the Cowboys and, I mean, they were good in the 90s. Like, it's been a long time before the Cowboys have had sustained success. And I know people say about the Eagles, you only got one. But the Eagles have been a good organization now since the late 90s and since the early 2000s we've been in 6 NFC championship games, 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl, consistently good, plenty of NFC East championships. There's been plenty of years going into the year where I thought the Eagles had a legitimate shot to win, to make it to the Super Bowl. Now the Cowboys fans think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. They just never even get to the damn championship game or win a playoff game. So
right. You're right. When was the last? I mean, is it
96?
Romo
the last championship game.
Yes, but no. Was Romo the last quarterback to win a playoff game for Dallas?
Romo was. Yeah. They beat Detroit. I think they beat Detroit.
Wow.
I'll look it up, but I think that was and that's how. And look, Tony Romo he only had like 1 or 2 playoff wins. They had some really good teams with Romo. They had that one team, obviously, with Wade Phillips. It was 13-3 with T.O. They went out and they lost to the Giants.
Vinny Testaverde.
What about Vinny Testaverde?
Vinny Testaverde was the quarterback for when Dallas won their last playoff game, I think.
No.
I don't think it was Romo.
No, it was Romo. Hold on, I'm looking. I'm trying to see who was the last 20 years. I'm trying to find that out. This is how hard it is. You gotta be seriously. It's been so damn long. Oh, I'm going through. I got it now. Hold on. So the last time they won a playoff game, okay, they did beat the Lions in 2014.
Okay.
Oh, it was with Dak. 2018, they beat the Seahawks 24-22 and then lost to the Rams. Jason Garrett was the head coach. And then before that, it was that Lions game against with Tony Romo. Tony Romo has 2 playoff wins. He beat my Eagles and he beat the Lions. That's it. But
okay.
you know, it's just it's for that franchise and the whole the America's team and all that BS. They haven't put a lot on the field, in my opinion.
Right. You're right. I agree. It's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait and wait for kickoff here. But we'll see. A lot of questions are going to be answered. I know the Giants just traded one of their kickers away to Carolina for a late round pick, which I thought they were going to try and get a backup offensive lineman because, look, Cleveland has a lot of extra linemen. There's some places that have extra linemen that can.
Eagles do. Dillard.
I don't think the Eagles and the Giants are going to make a trade. But
but Eagles have some.
But look, I don't think you're trading Dillard. I think Dillard's your swing tackle. I think you're going to put Dillard, and because Lane. When was the last time Lane Johnson played a full season? You need somebody to be able to step in over there. And
he's been pretty durable, but he did miss games last year. It's not Jason Peters, but where he's in and out. Jason Peters was also much older. But no, that's the thing, Coach, with the NFC East. I think all the teams have question marks, and that's what's crazy. I think, Dallas probably has the best offense. Washington probably has the best defense. I think the Giants might be more balanced on each side than those two. You know what I mean? Where you got a decent offense, decent defense. It's Washington's offense with Fitzpatrick. I
think that's a negative. Everybody keeps saying how positive that is for Fitzpatrick, but week 1 he's going to go throw four touchdowns. He's going to be lighting it up. He's going to have 400 yards. Everybody's going to be singing the damn Washington song, and they're going to think they're going to the Super Bowl, and the Hogettes are going to come out and everything. But come on, the next week he's going to throw friggin' 4 picks, which I hope so because that's against the Giants week 2.
Yeah, well, no, look, I think he can play to the level Alex Smith played last year. Not that, so we'll see.
I'm sorry. Alex Smith, game manager, Alex Smith, no way. I think Fitzy is a liability, and I think we're going to see Heineke in why? Wasn't that his name? What is it?
I might be. No, it is Heineke. You're right. Yeah.
I think we're going to see him sooner than later. I just think that's what we're going to see. Or Allen. I don't know. Was Allen hurt? I don't know. We're going to see one of those guys sooner than later. So
right.
But
yeah, it'll be interesting. But to me, and if you look at the odds, Chiefs and Bucks are obviously the 2 overwhelming favorites, and then it's really. Who's after that? Is it the Packers? Is it the Bills? That's what to me is really interesting. I think you identified the 2 best teams in each conference. It's just where does it fill in after that? And that's where I think it's going to be interesting because it's I think there's a lot of teams that are viable for it. Obviously, the Rams are going to be interesting. You see how the whole Stafford situation plays out.
A lot of pressure for Stafford. A lot of pressure for Stafford, I think.
They went out and got Sony Michel from the Patriots in a trade to make up for Cam Akers. You do have still, though, a guy like McVay, and a coach, when you're a quarterback, okay, and you have the number 1 defense on the other side, and I don't got to go score 28 to 30 points every game. That 20 points, 17 points might be enough in certain games for you to win. That really helps. That's the one thing Stafford does have.
Honestly,
but Coach, in Detroit, he needed to be perfect. That's, maybe. But
here's the thing, McVay, I think, still goes out week in to week out and tries to put up 30 to 40 points, and that's why they get in trouble. Instead of just manage the game and score, then the defense will be able to hold. He wants to air it out and get scoring points, and I think that's what gets him in trouble.
Well, no, I agree. I think you had a little bit of with Goff. You had that with the square peg with a round hole. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think you had a little bit of that with Goff. Stafford's more talented. He is. Goff had deficiencies. He really did. Goff had happy feet. He had a lot of success early, and last year you could see McVay was frustrated with him. You got to give it time and see. But also, too, there is not a tougher division in football. So, that division from top to bottom, all those teams, I think, in a weak division are all over 500. It's just because the way that division is, they all might not finish over 500 because they're going to be playing each other. But, man, the Seahawks are good, the Niners are good, the Cardinals are good, and so are obviously the Los Angeles Rams.
Right. I agree with that. It's going to be fun to watch, but we'll see. Who do the Eagles play this week? Who do they finish up with this week?
They got the Jets tomorrow, and then obviously we open up with Atlanta. And I look,
I think next week we'll be able to, the final roster spots. We'll talk about that. We'll talk to the King Master Stiz and see if he'll come on, because I know he's getting ready with all his drafts, and maybe he can squeeze in some time for us and our fan base and give them some advice. Because let's face it, people that listened to you and him last year made some money.
Yeah.
Okay. They made some money last year.
No, there's no doubt about it.
Because what was it? Didn't we?
His was 34-10.
Yep, but if you put a $5 bet on all those bets, you would have walked away with a couple grand last year, close to $1,000, $1,500, something like that.
Well, you're not a mathematician, but
I'm not a mathematician. I have no idea.
Not a couple grand, but you would have done well. $5, yeah. You're way off. You would have done well.
All right. So what would I had a bet to get $2,000? I would have put $50.
No, we had said if you bet $100 a game last year with Stiz, you would have walked away with a few thousand.
All right, there you go. That's what it was.
But still, for $100 better per game, a lot of money. And the percentage he had, it's unheard of. It's unheard of.
And another person got a lot of pressure on him. A lot of pressure on his.
No, there is. And I knew what it was like, because I had that really good year after I crapped out with the first Super Bowl we did. I had the great year, and I felt the pressure last year. And, I thought I did well last year. Obviously wasn't as good as the year before, where I was on the Chiefs, and, it was just my year. I did still call the right Super Bowl winner last year, but, I didn't have it from the beginning like I did with the Chiefs 2 years ago. But, it's a lot of pressure. And look, in the gambling game, you want to basically pick 56% or better, because that's how you got to do to win. 55, don't cut it because of the juice. You're basically just playing even. You got to pick 56% or higher to make money, and that's what we're trying to do. And Stiz at 34-10 is well over 75%, so that was unheard of. And I don't know what my record was. It was, it was good, but it wasn't 75% like Stiz's was.
No, but you know what? I think this year, I'm working on. Hopefully, we'll get an intern back here so we can keep some accurate.
Oh, yeah, we're going to keep better math on everything. We're going to do what we said. We're all going to have a lock of the week.
Yeah.
Point spread every week, and we'll keep a record of that. And we're going to do one of us throughout the year. We'll all give our lock of the year, which it could be week 1 for Coach, week 10 for me, our one game we love. So we'll all do that this year too, which we'll have fun doing that.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Look forward to it. So, remember, guys, we're just ramping up. We got a lot of stuff going on here in the summertime. Everything we're getting focused down in. We're dialing in. So, we're going to get back to our Sunday, Monday, Thursday schedule. Obviously, Sunday won't be until the 12th of September, but we'll start getting that. Before that will be,
it's
Monday,
coming up
Thursday.
quicker than you think. Man.
So
it's
it's
only
coming in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So let everybody know. Tell your friends, share it with everybody, and let them know we can't wait to get you guys back. And we'll keep you posted because we might be doing a couple live events here or there. So get some interaction and see how it goes. So appreciate everybody checking us out, and we'll see everybody next week. Thanks, Nevada Nick. We'll see you guys.